Hi, hello, hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2. We are back again, streaming again, with more Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. This is part 2 in our 10,000 part series where I continue to play this game. For those of you who are tuning into this for the first time, we have a guest article coming out for the site, right? And the writer, they did a fine job writing. And I'm glad they did, because this isn't a game I would normally choose to write about, because I don't choose to play 3D platformers more often than not. But then I ran into this unfortunate situation where it turns out they couldn't actually capture their gameplay, so I'm kind of doing that for them. So even though I had schemed and effectively found a way to not have to play this game, or so I thought, here we are. Where last we left off, we were Spyro. We entered the Dragonfly. I believe we did this sort of amalgamated Asian stereotype land, and I think this is the second area of the game that we are currently in. I don't know what remains to be done here. I think the theme of this level is like crop circle sort of stuff. Cows getting abducted, aliens invading in general. Really, it's all been a blur. I think it's been 8 days since I played this, and let's see if I don't think I've navigated this book thus far. Oh! The fact I can't do it with a D-pad on a GameCube controller, or this PS4 controller, as it were. I have to use this control stick. Crop circle counting. Will it give me... Nope, it won't really give me any instruction on, like, where these remaining puzzles are, but at the same time, do we really need to be here? I think we probably have enough dragonflies to go on to the next area of the game, wherever that might be.
Ouch.
And there should probably be some sort of shortcut out of this level, because every level in this game seems to be sort of circular in design, that you begin at one end, complete a loop, and then you unlock some sort of shortcut back to the beginning. Yes, here we are. Watch out, I'll protect those cows. The day is saved. Easy8 asks, I enjoyed the Spyro Reignited trilogy. What happened with this game? Different developers than the original trilogy. This was the first one on the 6th generation of consoles. I always get those confused in my head. PS2, GameCube era. They had to rush it to pass in under 8 months, I believe. Where most of those months were spent going through multiple different gameplay concepts and design documents until they finally had to settle on one. And, leave it to a team that wasn't familiar with the series, that wasn't given any of the assets from the previous team in order to help accelerate and facilitate that process of development. And you're ultimately left with a game that even the Spyro diehards will tell you is probably the weakest in the series. The person who is writing this guest article for us is... I get the feeling they're a Spyro fan who is disappointed rightfully by this game, so... Trying to use my memory. We're back in the Dragon Realms now. I'm sure I could have just warped here. I did notice there was a page in that atlas that said I could just warp to wherever I please, but... And I remember correctly, this is where we also unlocked this last time, but we chose to go in the other direction first. Figure I might as well pick up these scraps we have lying around. Video Game King says, I remember someone in last week's stream saying that a good version of this game is just Year of the Dragon. Sure, I'll take their word for it. Stray Cat Rock. I feel like this game would be a Sonic 06 if Spyro had a higher profile than he does. I feel like the profile, yeah, you're right. Spyro isn't on the level of even a Crash if you're using Sony contemporaries, where Crash would have became the de facto mascot, besides like a Lara Croft. Funny story, funny how that goes, how she was supposed to be Sega Saturn's mascot at a certain point, but that's a whole other kettle of fish. I'm looking at this effect here, where it looks like the ship is supposed to be like going through the water, but the water is actually stagnant on the screen, and it's the surroundings that are rotating around. And, Anyway, Easy8 asks, is this one of those killed the series type of games? No, as people are responding to right now, it poisoned the well. The series had to move in a very different direction. The Spyro games you would see after this tried to become more serious in tone. They got Elijah Wood as Spyro. This is Tom Kenny as Spyro in this game, lending his vocal talents.
Ouch.
But yeah, from what I gather, the series started to go in this really kind of self-serious direction, where like, you know, like there's at some point like a question of whether dragons or not will be like much longer for this realm, for this world. Again, I haven't played those games, but I've seen like some cutscenes. I've heard word from my writer on this. Oh, discovering now that I can't quite breathe can't breathe fire underwater, but Heading Bunny seems to work just fine. You can pick up just enough momentum to do some severe damage with this cranium. So it's good to know we have some sort of combat option underwater, because I'm getting the strong feeling, you know, call me crazy, that this level that we got to on a boat that opens with a body of water surrounding us, this might be a water level. Someone asked, does bubble breath work underwater? It sure doesn't, unfortunately. Yeah, it was a good idea. I was with you. I'm like, oh, that's probably what they intend for me to do here. But no, we just can't breathe underwater, except for the part where we seem to be able to, you know, breathe underwater as far as, like, we have no problem breathing. The conceit of this game, by the way, for those of you who, again, were not here the first episode, is that dragonflies, we gotta capture them all, we gotta save them all. Ripto, in all his rage, sent them all over the place, sent them, scurrying as a result of some magic spell, because dragons get their power from having a dragonfly. Kind of like, oh, we already have a power-up here. This is one of the power-ups we can use to upgrade our breath, to get more breath powers. But first, I would very much like to...
Hey, it's Gary.
Ooh, Tom Kenny saying Gary years before he would... Actually, you know what? He was playing SpongeBob around this time, wasn't he? Hey, it's Gary! He should have put a little more SpongeBob on it just for this. You know, I get a feeling that guy may not have been a bad guy. He was just looking to take photos. That guy seemed like completely innocent. And I feel a little bad for it. Juan 666666678. The reason why this game was bad, Universal, they wanted more change for it, no? The implication I get is that there was a divide between how much change were we willing to put in. The development team, the design team... Ooh, there we go. Those are some seams. Let me inspect this. Inspect this. I know there are ways to go out of bounds in this game. Sorry, that distracted me. I would say, I don't remember the details of the article offhand right now, but they do get into the direction that Universal wanted us to go versus what the design team envisioned for it. So, alright, these guys I don't need to kill. These guys are just food for... I don't even remember our dragonfly's name. It's Draggy the Dragonfly, because he's dragging these gems over to us. Sparks, thank you to Stray Cat Rock in the chat. Again, I do feel the need to reiterate that I am not the Spyro expert. I'm trying to come into this as someone who's not even... I'm not against 3D platformers. I don't, you know, despise them. I don't think they're a blight on the industry or anything stupid like that. I just don't fancy them myself. So I'm approaching this from, like, a very strange and maybe not super informed perspective, but... Now, I realize I've been stalling here, but here we go. This is what we're looking for.
Thank you so much, Spyro. I just couldn't have handled being eaten for dinner.
Nope.
Ooh. Oh, I shouldn't have skipped this. I shouldn't have accidentally pressed the A button twice because I wanted to hear Spyro make a really bad taste joke. That's pretty mean of Spyro to be like, I hear your friends burning to death. A little ways in the distance. I'm picking up on it with my nose. Also, this guy was supposedly, like, captured, indentured, unable to escape. Looks like he's got room. Alright, these are the vases we can't burn. Okay, so these guys aren't nice, then? They seem cute. I like that design. I think that's a cute little enemy design there. Besides the Tiki Men in this level, being, depending on your threshold for what constitutes, sort of, how you say, cultural insensitivity, which, believe me, when we were doing that Amalgamated Asian Land, ooh boy, that was certainly pushing the boundaries of good taste. You know, there's some cute little enemy designs in this game. There's a little bit of inspired design. I'm sure some Spyro purists will be like, these don't hold a button, these don't hold a candle to the original games, but also the implication I get is that there is a bit of, you know, this kind of enemy design, the tiki sorts, in the original games as well, so who knows? Not me. So this guy is identical character model to the previous guy.
You gotta help me. One of the Riptocs keeps calling me ham sandwich and asking me if I'd go better with mustard or mayonnaise.
Try mayo stirred. Mustard and mayonnaise mix. Let's see if we can get this guy out of this fix. Oh, I reckon I see his reprieve. Oh, I forgot that even in gliding a short distance, I need to sort of use the headbutt move mid-flight so I can get a little bit of a flutter going and reach these platforms. So let's try that this time. There we go. Oh, can't just walk onto this one. Trying every which way. Or ultimately this is. Or, hold on. Is it breathe fire on it? Or is it... There we go. Process of elimination. Straight Cat Rock. These dinosaurs look like they're using the model rigs for an enemy from Spyro 3 as well to me. Now, the only thing I would say is that I know a big part of the article mentions that they did not get anything along the lines of existing assets, that they had to like redo Spyro even from scratch, the team that made this game. I'm sure they probably based these off of existing sculpts and models and rigs and stuff, as far as like eyeballing it. But it's my belief that we just soft-locked the fucking game. I press the Y button. I can still do this. This is our second soft lock in this game, I should mention. The first happened within first 10 minutes of us starting the game in the first episode. Can I do this? So great, we're gonna have to suffer 2 load screens here as we load out of the level and back into it, but better than losing that bit of progress, I guess. That's impressive. That is just awesome. And that's known, again, known quantity, the fact that this game can soft lock, that you can get out of bounds, that it's not entirely well put together, to say the least. There's a reason why we're playing it on this kind of stream, why there is an article being written about it. But there you go, folks. That's Video Game King. I want to say the game is waiting for Spyro to move into position before the conversation can start, but I don't think he'd be getting his idle animation if that were the case. Yeah, they did take away movement from me for a minute to put him in that spot, which didn't seem like the right spot. But you know what? As long as we're here, I do know of one thing we can do as long as we're back here. Maybe this will be a benefit to us. Maybe this will actually be useful that we're coming back here, because we have an excuse to cash in that token and get ourselves a new power. Maybe it's that that ice breath, because then we could revisit the first level in the game and pick up a few extra dragonflies, I believe. Help out a couple little dragon cubs and hopefully when we go back to that level we just came from, I can just teleport back there as opposed to... Alright, one more stone for the spirit dragon.
This sacred rune will grant you the power of Wing Shield.
Oh, that's not ice breath. That's not ice breath at all. Alright, we're gonna get any explanation of what Wing Shield is? No! In fact, it's not a breath power like I was expecting it to be. I'm sure this was something in previous Spyro games, right? Wing Shield? Is there anything that's familiar? Does anyone have any idea what it could be? Let's see if... Yeah, it shows up on the powers page. Can't really select it from here and get any details about it. Oh, closing left arrow closes the Atlas. Okay. Alright, well we might as well... I think you put your wings in front of your face like a shield. Oh, I pressed the Z button again, and I'm just trying to test different buttons to see what could potentially... But, you know, as long as we're here... Let's warp back to where we were. It's an auspicious start to this stream, let's say. Thank God we're playing with an emulator and not real hardware, because I hear these loads on real hardware are a real treat, so to speak. Not that they're not insignificant here, but... It's not an Enter the Dragonfly stream without an early soft lock. Comments, how do I even exist? Yeah, that's the precedent we're setting, isn't it? You remember being a minute. I will say, in fairness to the game, it was after the first 7 minutes worth of cutscene and then 10 minutes into the gameplay. So it was technically like 17 minutes into the game, but it was like 10 minutes into the actual gameplay in the first area of the game as we were doing one of the opening tutorials, so... I know I went underwater immediately last time, but let's see. Video Game King with the save. You have to hold L and R to use the wing shield. You know what's awesome about that is pressing L brings up... Or pressing L goes through your breath abilities, and pressing R shows you this menu for pickups you picked up that you can hand into the Dragon King. So every time we're using this wing shield, we're seeing that little menu bar there. At least we're not changing our breath every fucking time. That said, if I press L a second earlier than I press the R button, we are changing our breath. So it's very easy here in using the shield to inadvertently, unintentionally cycle through your abilities.
Get me out of here. Please get me out of here. I heard a Riptide talking about sausages.
Sure. What can I do?
Hey, there's a button on the cliff. All the way over there.
Why was there echo on that voice clip and not the first one? Or did I not notice the echo on the voice clip on the first one? Because he's clearly in a cave. It makes sense they put echo on the voice. It makes sense they did a little filter there. But... Anyway... Video Game King pointing out that on the PS2 version, menu buttons like that were mapped to different buttons from the Windshield one, but I guess they both get collapsed in the GameCube version. Correct, yeah. We're dealing with one less button up top, and one less in the center. We're missing our select button. We're missing a L1 type. In fact, I believe the Z button here, which brings up the Atlas, that would probably be the select button on the PS2, right? Oh no. Rika, one of your favorite games ever. I'm so sorry. We just encountered our second soft lock in this game, and we're currently talking about how the controls are inadequate on the GameCube, but again, I'm not one to criticize people for liking games. Everyone is entitled to like particular games. One of my favorite games is Drake of the 99 Dragons. I'm president of the Drake of the 99 Dragons fan club, so who am I to judge someone's favorite games? Oh, let's surface. Wouldn't it be funny if I could just bubble through this? It almost looks like the bubbles are going through. The particle effect is definitely going through. But we're going to, we're gonna have to... Rika says, I played it for GameCube and they did a damn good job for this to have been made in 2 to 3 months. Yes, that is the thing, that is the conceit, as we were mentioning earlier, that this game, as it were, was developed under an incredibly tight deadline for reasons somewhat in the dev team's control, somewhat outside of them. We're looking for a way up, currently. Probably go the way we found that other pig earlier, before we soft-locked. I'm making the argument this game doesn't get as appreciated as it should have for the limited time they had and what they implemented it when they had that time. Sure, you can appreciate the charm of a game for You can appreciate what a developer is able to do in short time under a very tight deadline that is maybe not conducive to full game development, but let's see if this doesn't soft lock the game again. There we go.
Woo! Thank goodness you got to me before the Riptox could.
Stray Cat Rock saying this level music trying really hard to be sponsored. Well, when you got Tom Kenny and the first Dragonfly you pick up on this level is named Gary, you're definitely trying to evoke something. Alright, we learned that lesson. A little bit of relay moving the camera there. Now we could just go that direction. Also, I'm trying to use Bubble Breath when... Oh! I didn't press the A button in time. And now, to get back up to where we just were, we're going to have to go through that entire underground section and back around, unless this is a shortcut.
Good thing you saved me. I swear I could hear the sausage grinder calling my name.
No problem. Saving pigs on vacation is what I was born to do.
Why was Spyro so, like, such an asshole about this? He's, like, making jokes at pigs, like, I smell your friend burning to death, like, a mile away. And now he's just like, oh, yeah, saving you. I don't know, I would just say, like, accept gratitude every once in a while. We have this whole area here, but part of me wants to just go back and more thoroughly examine where we just were, because it's not looking like... Well, maybe over there. Let's see. That might be a challenge gate? Is the challenge gate a return to the... to dragons, whatever, because this game lacks the text, the floating text in front of gates that tells you where they actually lead you to. So hopefully this is a challenge. Hopefully I don't have to suffer another load screen to get back to where we just were.
Hey, Spyro, I was out here checking out my baby Manta Ray farm, and those stupid Riptox have scared them all away. Let's race to see who can capture more of them before time runs out.
This hunter is a man of many, like, passions and hobbies.
Capture the baby Manta Rays?
Sure, why not? Oh boy. So I just gotta net them or gotta bring them back somewhere? No, this seems straightforward enough, as it turns out. This definitely controls a lot better than that fucking spaceship. The fucking thing from the previous level, from the farm level. That was some of the clunkiest bullshit I've played in a long time. This is definitely not ideal, but this is at least functional. And that's a start. Is there a time limit on this? Or are we just going until we've captured all the Manta Rays and like we're in competition at that stage? That's probably what it is. This is as bad as trying to catch the dragonflies. Whoever I don't get, I'm sure Hunter will pick up the slack for me. That said, there we go. That one was personal. That one was a matter of pride. Oh, it's good to see that he sucks at this too, actually. That he's missing shots at point-blank range. They didn't tell us how many total there are, but it looks like everyone in the distance is all there is. It looks like this is a pretty small area, all things considered. And I'm sure there's going to be a more difficult version of this. Yeah, there we go.
Cowabunga, dude! You got all of them in time, and they're safe and sound.
Oh no, they got loose again! Let's do it a second time.
Hey, it's Krishnamurti.
What is the naming theme for them here?
Want to try capturing them again?
Sure, dude, if I get another Dragonfly for it. That's the only reason I would do this again. Now, I'm just making an assumption here that I will. And if I don't, I'm gonna have Hunter's head on a platter. This looks like a slightly different area, so if they're changing up the environment, that's definitely gotta mean there's a second Dragonfly attached here. Unless I'm approaching the same area from a different angle. Oh yeah, this is totally, because this is where I was last time, and I was facing the other direction. Oh wait, no, is this a dead end? No. I'm trying to imagine giving these people more credit. Okay, well, you know what? At least this was short. So credit for that.
Want to try capturing them again?
Ah, eat my ass. No.
All right, I'll see if I can calm them down until you come back.
I'm never
They
coming
like
back.
the way I sing.
They're gonna make a joke about his singing and then not actually have him sing. Okay, alright. That's fine. They never tell you which ones are gonna give you a second Dragonfly and which ones... They need to be more distinct and more clear about this. Wait until you see the Greek-themed Dragonfly, says Video Game King. That's right, this was hinted at. This was suggested that we're going to be seeing an assortment of names in the coming hours here. I'm wondering, what's the bare minimum of Dragonflies I need to capture in this game? I'm already thinking about, like, how can I shortcut this? Because this ain't no 100% complete run. Alright, so now we know where that gate goes. Let's see if this is a shortcut to where I want to go back to. Again, I feel a little bad doing these dinosaurs dirty. They're just, like, trying to take photos of the scenic area. It's like, I can relate. It's like beauty. It's nature. Hell, you know, if I got thawed out after, like, 65 million years, or however long ago dinosaurs were around, I don't have that information off the top of my head. Bubble breath.
Hey, it's Daisy.
Yo, what up, Daisy? Something I'm going to ask about, and this isn't even a criticism, it's just a question. Is the AI always been kind of, like, dumb in these games? Because, you know, there just hasn't been much of a challenge posed by, like, enemies sitting around. They're more just, like, fodder for me to burn away. Bad Game Hall of Fame. Oh, Bob and Ian are asking Bad Game Hall of Fame. That's me. About how far are you into the game anyway? This is like the third level. I think out of 9. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if I even hit that guy or not. 3 out of 8 regular ones. Clarifies. Perfect. Clarifies the fenestration, dude. Alright, we're going back the way we came briefly because there is a part of me, even though this is not 100% in any capacity, as I've said. That was a weird invisible wall, but sure. That I need to know what's over there. And the only way to do so is to go back a ways away. People testifying that, Stray Cat Rock saying that, yeah, the AI never really advances beyond move towards Spyro and use the one attack I have in terms of enemy AI. And, you know, that's fine. Alright, this one's going to require Flutter. Okay, this is going to help us save another pig then. That's probably necessary for the completion of this level. That's probably a good thing we did this. Maybe... No, 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 don't drop down. Oh, thank you. Oh, sorry, no, that's where the Dragonfly was. Yeah, the Dragonfly's underneath us. I was worried the game was going to drop us off without my consenting to it. The cutscene was just going to take us off the ledge there, but... Oh, I know this is another one of those challenges. The fact it's all the way up here is a pain in my ass, because it means that if I fuck it up, then we're going to have to go all this way again. So I'm going to use this as a fact-finding. We have this explosive breath again. But what are the targets? What are the targets looking like? Are they these heads up here? I wish there was like a little like 2-second cutscene. People tell me, oh, I can use the breath. I can use this to aim. So these, okay, so these are the targets. Okay, so at least we know we need to hit for however many of them there are. Could just be these 4. Very good spawning back in animation. Yeah, it's just a part of me that's just like, I wish there was like a 2-second cutscene that shows you like, here's what you're playing for, here's what you're aiming at, and here's what your prize will be. Just to establish parameters. Don't tell me this rock is gonna be like in the way. Yeah, well, I saw that coming, didn't I? It's gotta be just these 4 then. Is that what we played for, so we could raise up these platforms? I mean, if so, that's a free Dragonfly, so... Oh no! I thought when I landed on it, it would just land on it. You know? That I would just, like, start walking on it, but for some reason, my belly just slid right across it. That's, dog shit. That's behaved like no other platform in the game has behaved.
Hey, it's Socrates.
Socrates' philosophies. Fleeing with the lottery. Possibly they spotted me. So we're going back there, aren't we? We're going back all the way around through this underwater tunnel. Up here, back to the pig's tunnel. Back to do this little bit of platforming. And is this still an active challenge? Didn't we do the thing? What did I miss? If anything. Well, in any case. Alright. I'm a bit nervous. Oh, I can't even use my bubble breath right now because we're still in challenge mode, technically. Excusez-moi. Pardon.
Hey, it's Homer.
What the... We got it. All said and done. Pressing every key. There we go. I was worried we had a third soft lock situation there. Why did it take so long to get that one in particular? Was there something weird about the fact that this platform like bobs and does stuff when you get towards the edges of it? And then the fact that we were stuck in that flight for a second, I had to stomp my way out of it. At least there was a way. At least there was a way out. At least we had an option this time, aside from pressing start and exiting the level. But you know, just those little things that add up. You know, it's just like stuff like that that's been popping up in this game. that for someone like me who's not a fan of 3D platformers in the best of cases, it's like those little, like, those little frustrations that pile up for me. Or like that, where my headbutt stops short, where I know I've used that headbutt to kill these guys underwater. Let's see if we can get it on this try. I don't know. Again, just to be clear here, this is not like worst game I ever played territory. I'm not like pulling my hair out. I'm just, you know, a bit confused by some of, you know, the design choices, and you know, definitely a bit flabbergasted by some of the errors we're encountering. Some of the little mistakes that were maybe made in the programming end. You know, these things happen. These things happen in good games. You'll have your fair share of, you know, like, holes in the environment, whatever. Like, Doom has at least one out-of-bounds thing where you can see, like, a hole in the wall where they didn't, like, where there's, like, they didn't, like, do the coordinates properly on some of the objects, some of the walls, the corners, and whatnot. You know, the fact that we've seen at least 2 of those in every level, you know, is maybe a little more egregious. You know, that's all I'm saying. You know, on its own, an out-of-bounds glitch where you can go to the final boss within the first 15 seconds of the game by ground pounding like a very specific spot. I mean, like, whatever, it's a specific spot. Who's going to think to do that? It's not an issue that would affect, like, 99% of players. But, you know, when there's, like, there seems to be opportunities to get out of bounds in most levels, then, you know, that's that duck just walked through there to where they were out of sight, and I couldn't use them to refill my Dragonfly, to refill my health. But, you know, maybe I'm being unfair. Again, considering some of the shit I've played, this is like, I should be thinking, well, it should be like an island vacation to me. At least I don't gotta travel far to open this cage. Actually, you know what? Talk to me.
Good work, Spyro. You showed those Riptocs they can't make a feast out of us. Say, could you do me a favor and get me out of this cage?
I was wondering if they would even bother to give him a line of dialogue when the Switch is literally right next to me. They did, for whatever it's worth. Oh, great.
Get me out of here!
Hello, the gate's open.
Huh? It is? Oh, well, what do you know? Look at that. Silly me. Thanks for saving me.
I'm sure you've noticed by this point that all the pigs are named after,
Hey, it's Dip.
you know, food dishes, like this guy being named Chili or whatever. Things you could possibly use pork product in. Just like all the dragons in the Amalgamated Asian level were named after Asian film actors. So, you know, there's theming. The noise is definitely reused. Quips, how do I even use this? Yeah, that's a Tom Kenny going, that is used across, like, every single creature and character in the game, basically. I feel like they're really tossing dragonflies at us in this level.
Hey, it's Scuttlebutt.
Ah, that old pal Scuttlebutt. Our old buddy from my college days. You know why they used to call him Scuttlebutt? That's right, he would drag his ass across the floor like a cat. Eat, Sparks, eat. Drink and grow strong. Awesome particle effects. I mean, whatever. At least there's that pesky pelican from before. Are we almost, like, done with this level? I feel like we're pretty close to the 10 dragonflies at this stage already.
Hey, it's Plato.
We're getting the Greek philosopher names in this level. I thought there was a grease level in this game. Why are they not saving it for there? Out of curiosity, how many dragonflies do we have thus far? Ho hum, ho hum. Luau Island, where we are. I only got 6 out of 10 in Crop Circle Country. But I'm not eager to revisit that land, so... Okay, so they give descriptions of where they are, except for the ones that we haven't caught yet. Let's see if we can find maybe... I just want to loop this level background. I want to open up the loop for this level, and maybe that rock was it. And if that's the case, then... Oh wait, no, that's... No, of course, we just...
Youch! Youch! Youch!
You know, just a minor observation, but...
Youch!
We're crashing into something like... Yeah, there's just like a little bit of space in front of the wall there. Again, that's not a major gripe, that's just a... Point it out. So now let's find... the way to open this level up. Probably here, right? Oh, another challenge, another minigame. You retreat to this awesome animation again. We missed it when we warped directly into this level. Again, I would just say observe the waves and observe the way that there's a circular platform in the center of the screen that all the scenery in the skybox are rotating around to where it's not a very convincing effect. It's taking you back to the hub world, someone says. You know, it'd be fucking awesome if the gates were labeled, if they had the... I know I keep bringing it up, if they had the text in front of them that tells you where you're being brought to. Because I can't tell the difference between one gate and another. So this is taking me back to the hub world right now. That's really cool. But I mean, whatever. We had 8 out of 10 dragonflies, right? So, yeah, sure. You know, we're done with that level. So cool, let's find something else to do, I guess. A Video Game King mentions the minigames have you, Spyro warping through a vortex between level trenches and have him riding a vehicle or flying. Now that you can tell that before you enter a gate. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the rub of it, isn't it? I believe this guy required 45 dragonflies. I don't believe we have 45 dragonflies. Let's see what happens anyway. Yeah, sure enough.
Hello, Spyro. You need to collect more of those them there bugs, and I should have this honeycomb raft working like a charm. Well, that should do it, Spyro. Hop aboard the raft and get ready for the Honey Moss Rapids.
We did it twice. It still works. Flag that. That if you leave him on the screen, he will read his next line of dialogue. That they either have both audio files stitched together in a single audio file that plays continuously, so he gives you the description like for if you have enough dragonflies, even though we're on the screen here where he's telling us we don't have enough. We had that in the last episode too, and I noticed it last episode, so... Oh, the last ones are from the Simon minigame. Are you on defenestration? To be clear, are you telling me that there's a minigame that we missed in Luau Island where there's like some more blatant racism we can watch? Because if so, I'll go back to it. But just to be clear, do I need to go back to that level to see it? Or where should I be going right now? Trying to find... I think actually... I believe we got the electricity power up in the farm level, and I think that might open up something in the distance over here. Video Game King pleading, I think we need to do without the early 2000s racism. Well, you know, I need to explore this game for everything it's worth, because I need to make GIFs of it for the article. So as much as I don't necessarily want to... Oh, but nope, we need the ice power-up for this. Which we do not have. I think you should have the ice stone thing to get... I do not have the ice stone. We got the wing power-up off of Luau Island. Oh, is that it? I don't remember how many dragonflies the teddy bear dude requires. It was either 65 or 25. Let's hope for 25 so we have some sense of direction here. I wish there was an auto-center camera. Is there? There probably is an auto-center camera button. Let's try and find it. Not the D-pad. It's not clicking in the right analog stick. It's not up or down. Oh, it is down on the right analyst. Okay, cool. Just wanted to know. Talk to me, friend.
Hooray! You did it! The swirly thingy is working! Step right in, and it will take you up to the clouds. Try not to get dizzy. I did and almost lost my ham and sheep sandwich. Ha! Sheep? Did I say that?
Is it, like, bad to admit to eating sheep in this universe? I mean, we're burning them to death by the dozen to sate our dragonfly's hunger. Spyro looks just slightly off model here from, like, this angle where, like, you see his neck over here. Yeah, I'm going to assume that we get the Ice Breath in this level, in this Cloud 9 level. Video Game King, this line comes off a lot differently after a level where pigs are being rounded up so they can be turned into food. Yeah, that's kind of the rub in it. Glad we got a gem just for coming here. The first thing that happens is we're standing on top of a gem that we get.
Hey, Spyro! The Riptocs have invaded our palace and sabotaged the machines powering our hourglass.
You need machines to power an hourglass? Don't you just fucking flip it over? You need a machine to do that? Maybe it's a really big
Your electric
hourglass.
breath would be perfect for powering the machines. No one around here can get any sleep. Can you help us?
Alright, so that's our hint to use electric breath for this level, I suppose. And that's the Ice Breath. You know, so far these power-ups have not been gated behind anything. They kind of just sit out in the middle of the open, relatively early in the level too, mind you. Kind of just walk up to them and... You think they would be, like, gated in the same way that some of the Dragonflies are. You know, behind some button you need to press, or behind some gate you need to open, behind some challenge you need to complete, given to you by other characters. But nope! Just put the rock there, 5 steps into this level. This game is being emulated right now, I should mention. But I've heard rumbling that the frame rate is pretty inconsistent even on consoles, that a lot of technical hiccups come from some not great optimization. Defenestration dude who played this on console, can you testify to the inconsistencies we're seeing in frame rate here? If this is a console issue? Because I don't feel like this is a my computer issue. Because, not to brag up my rig, but it's decently powerful. And, you know, if it was a 60 FPS constant GameCube game, I would emulate pretty consistently at 60 FPS constantly. There's no upscaling. I try to play games in their original resolution. So, there's no, like, post-processing or anything I'm doing to make this game look better than it should. I even believe that if there was a feature for it in Dolphin, I definitely have enabled where I'd be consistent to the original systems like RAM and VRAM, and so that anything that would affect the frame rate on a proper GameCube should be applied just as well to here. Do you have something to say to me? Only if I stand there for a second or two.
That thief has stolen my magic wand, and I need it to activate the swirly to the next machine. Can you get it back for me?
The Defenestration dude also mentioned, yeah, this is a level where the main goals are no longer required to actually reach the end, but you still do need them to get the Dragonfly. Oh, just the one? No, I'm sure there's 10 across this level, right? Otherwise, what are we doing wasting our time here? That was a hell of a chase there. Okay, we're finally using this inventory for more than just those Dragon Stones. I feel like it probably behooves me to pick up some of the treasure here to knock over some of these vases. Stray Cat Rock testifying to the PlayStation 2 version, to frame rate inconsistencies. And, you know, of course, like, emulation, even if you're doing, like, very, like, if Is it low-level emulation where it's as accurate as possible machine, where it runs all the machine, like, program and code as, like, one-to-one as possible, whereas high-level emulation is attempt to optimize it for modern machine and whatnot? In any case, any emulator, even, like, the ones that are, like, Med Defense style, where it's, like, as accurate as possible, I mean, you're still going to lose a little bit in that process from console. I feel like I should probably head back to the bear, maybe give him the magic wand. I feel like I forgot to do that momentarily. Let's see if we can... Cool. No, that's alright. I didn't want to see the floor anyway. Yeah, this seems... Okay, so here's the question. Is this a matter of textures not loading in? Or... Okay, cool. I was worried we were going to fall through the floor there. But no, so what it did was it unloaded some of the textures, and models for that matter, because there's an invisible wall there. And we're just sort of having to guess a little bit at where things might be. Until such time as the game decides to reload these assets. Ah, there we go!
Thanks, Spyro! Now I can power up the swirly!
I'll give you a swirly, buddy. Alright, let's see where this takes us. I vaguely remember this coming up in the one speedrun of this game I watched, says Video Game King. And Defenestration 2 testifying that they also ran into this issue at a certain stage. So, you know, at least we're among company. It's reassuring to know that things that we run into in emulation are just as liable to occur on real hardware to other people, even experiencing the game. This Dragonfly is going to be a real pain in my butt, aren't they? I'm going to have to... Come on, Sparks, eat that butterfly. Oh, there was a jar there, that's why. It looked like they were just floating around, but... the game can assure you they weren't.
Ouch!
I have that Bubble Breath equipped, and I know it doesn't do anything to enemies. You better have a really funny name, dude, because you are a pain in the ass to capture. Whatever, let's see what's going on over here, then I will return to my quarry to attend to my prey. There's obviously something here that will come into play later, I would presume. But what that could be, don't know right now. I was trying to break open the vase with my stomp there. Defenestration dude. Oh yeah, you see that spotlight? That's your main goal, but the game never tells you that. Well, why would they? Where would the fun in that be? That would take away the sense of exploration and adventure and mystery that this game intended for kids is clearly going for. That's not just bad signposting. That's like deliberate design, right?
Hey, it's Savino!
That name was not worth the effort we went through to capture him. I mean, I know it's for completion of the game, blah 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 blah. You know, you need to capture the dragonflies. It's important. I know there's some talk going on about speedrun stuff. Video Game King, 100% run of the game. Speedrunners complain about what a pain it is to collect all the gems because they spread it out for no reason. They had to end this run prematurely because of a soft lock. They were even complaining about collecting this level in particular. That sounds awesome. I'm assuming this was like in a live run situation if they... unless you were watching like an actual like, live speedrun on like on someone's Twitch channel. I don't know. I'm making assumptions here. They make an ass of you and I. To put this in context, Sonic 06 speedrunners say that the game isn't that bad to speedrun because at least it's predictably broken. Spyro speedrunners are not forgiving towards Enter the Dragonfly. Ooh, I almost ate shit and I had saved it like... And I just want to make another point real quick, and I know it's not like what's coming up in conversation right now, but I do want to say something about when people complain about games being broken because of speedrun tech. Like I mentioned, like, that you can do a pretty quick speedrun in this game on any percent, where you can get to the final boss within a literal like 10 seconds of starting the game, because you can go through the ground in that hub world. That's not like, doesn't mean the game is broken in and of itself. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a broken game, but that in itself is not a sign of a broken game. Like when people talk about how broken Super Mario Bros. Is, because you can use this really specific, like millisecond specific button presses to walk through walls and stuff. You know, that's not broken. That's just like, that's oversight. And that takes hours, if not years, if not decades of research to figure out how to do those things consistently. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I have a feeling we're about to eat shit. That's what I get for trying to go up there. You know? Back to the very beginning of the level, why not? Well, it gives us a chance to explore this corner here, which I neglected the first time through. Oh, I even see some platforms leading down and around. Just gems, though, isn't it? I feel like we have enough gems to last us, right? Moneybags had us pay, what, 200 in that first level? If we see his ass again and he tries charging us for something, is it really going to cost more than 2,800 gems? Is it going to cost anywhere more than 1,000 gems? Oh, for fuck's sake! That's why I love the camera in this game, and I love how you can't turn on the dime, that you have to basically steer Spyro like a goddamn car. TAGM asks, should I spoil the thing about Moneybags? Go for it, I don't care about spoilers. Let me know something. If there's anything I need to know mechanically, anything I need to know that will set us up for success in finishing this game, go for it. I am never one to turn down a free eat my whole ass. TAGM says, Moneybags never shows up again past that appearance in level 1. Of course he doesn't. Testosterone. You have to steer your character like a car. You do that in Shenmue and the game's great. What's the difference? The difference here is that this is a 3D platformer. Shenmue, if I recall, and you know it's been a minute, is that it is not a 3D platformer. It's a game where you walk around like a small hub world and you're not doing a lot of jumping and puzzles. Whereas this has very small platforms that fly across the sky, and if I land on the corner of them and try to reorient myself on this platform, there is the possibility that I will just fall off of it. I've so far lost more lives to this one platform than I've lost in the entirety of the playthrough of this game so far. I bet Rio could do this platform, he's skilled. That's true. You just get his forklift and he would like move enough stuff. He would stack enough boxes that he could just... Okay, there we go. This one I came in low enough that I didn't have to worry about doing my hover. And I let it get close enough. And there is not a Dragonfly as reward for this. Here's a challenge that'll have to do. That'll have to be good enough. Oh, should I get involved in some Shenmue discourse? TAGM saying there's a case being made by some that calling Shenmue great as a stretch, but I'm not about to pick that fight. Do I share my Shenmue thoughts? Look, okay. I won't share my Shenmue thoughts, except to say that, you know, different people like different games. You know, and it's cool if you like Shenmue. Shenmue. I think it's awesome. I think it's great that that game moved stuff forward. I think it's great that that game advanced certain narrative storytelling and stuff. You know, the minutia. Whilst that might bug some people, you know, doing vending machines and all this other pointless stuff just for the fun of it, you know. That the fact that the game is populated by that content largely, it feels like. You know, it's awesome. The real-time clock, novel conceit. The gameplay sucks ass, and I hate... I already used the word hate, and that's a strong one to come out with. The part where you actually play that game, where it's half populated by bullshit QTEs, and the other half by the most mundane, unenthusiastic conversations and backtracking across this one small patch of land, is not for me. It's just not for me, personally. People mentioning we're about to go into another goddamn Speedway level, and yeah, we sure are, aren't we? Let's do the race first. Why don't we? But to be clear, I don't begrudge you if you like Shenmue. I did make that as clear, crystal clear as possible. I have friends who like Shenmue. I'm looking for where any blue stars might be, those boosts. Oh, cool! No, that's awesome. What happened right there is just cool. These seem so out of the way. We have 3 laps here. And I'm just curious as all hell how much time that gives us to get ahead of these guys. I know it's a little trap there where they want you to get the missile. They want you to go out of your way and waste precious time getting the missiles that you don't need to hit these dudes who aren't attacking us or doing anything to us. But, you know, if you have a bloodlust, then, you know, go out of your way and then lose the race. But, you know, fulfill that need. Like, I'm not even gonna bother getting that one. What's the point? I think I already have one in reserve. Room. Alright, this one you cut across, or you cut across the... Oh, I missed one. Did we beat the first race while missing one? I feel like we did. Hopefully we can pull that off again. That said, we were in 3rd place. I don't know how far ahead 1st place is. People mentioning that there is some degree of stuttering. I'm not dropping too many frames, I can say. I can testify to personally. But I noticed that there probably are some opportunities here where it's stuttering. But obviously, yeah, this is a resource-heavy stream for you. Guess what? There's always the archives, if you want to just watch me suffer without the live chat component. Wait, how did we get in 3rd place again? When did that happen? This whole race is a waste, isn't it? Oh my god, I missed it again. No, okay, so that tells me that we cannot afford to miss a single one of these once. Okay, that was 3 minutes of our lives wasted. Let's waste another 3, why don't we? But at least I clearly saw that time how far behind we were the guy in 1st. So at least gives me an idea of how much I can afford to miss, which is none. And this time we didn't get caught on that dude in his geometry. Oh, I realized that's a start. Yeah, you know what? Give up, because without that... Actually, no, I think there's a quicker way to... I think if we deliberately miss, is that quicker than going into that menu? Yes, it is. Let's start saying this game looks fun. Welcome to the stream. You know, it's interesting. This game is certainly interesting. This is take 3 on this race. We're looking at the speedrun shots. I think you need speedrun strats to even do this the basic way. We missed one speed power-up the first time through this, and that was enough to lose the entire race. I think at least I have a better idea of where these are now. And I know Lizstar is a resident speedrunner of incredible games, and I'm sure you're aware this is a game that has a speedrun that can be completed in under 2 minutes, wherein you, like, out of bounds in the first level, go directly to final boss. But the reason we're playing it here is not for any attempt at speed, any attempt at super thoroughness either. This is more because we have a article coming up on this, and I need to get footage for that article so that we can, you know, have GIFs to accompany the articles on our website. So we can have some visual component to accompany those gigantic walls of text. Tagum says, having Vietnam flashbacks to the first race in Spyro 3 because that was a complete fucking perfectionist bitch of a level 2. Well, you know, the pursuit of perfection is something or other. I'm sure there's some idiom. I'm sure there's some old school idiom that has some configuration of those words. I don't know it. I'm not well read. I'm not well spoke. I just write 20,000 words about 20-year-old video games. Doesn't mean they're well-chosen words. Doesn't mean I'm confident at writing them. I hate seeing third place as we're on the third lap. It gives me feelings of unease. It does not instill me with confidence that, ooh, there we go. There we go. We missed one in the third lap, and that means that we're boned, doesn't it? That means that we're just screwed, and that this is all a waste of, like, the next, like, 30 seconds, and that you're gonna suffer with me, doesn't it? We're so close, but yet so far. I totally see that first place dude, too. Ah! Maybe? Maybe, just maybe? Well, 6 seconds. That's the difference maker right there. Try again. No, I won. That's... using the missiles is completely pointless. As far as I can gather, unless I could snipe that first place dude from afar. But I do not trust the trajectory of those missiles.
Hey, it's Grayson.
Yeah, what up, Grayson? Video Game King. Does the get 10 of Object X, 10 of Object Y, 10 of Object Z flying level concept come back? It sure does. In the time attack. Here's a hint. Try completing each challenge in order. Start with the rings, then get all the stars, go-karts, and save the flying Riptocs for last. It's not the fastest way, but it sure is easier. Well, we'll give this a few shots. I'll give this 3 shots. That's the old college try as far as I'm concerned. At least these rings are easy. Alright, so it looks like we fly into the stars. No, never mind. Oh! Aw, drats. I sunk myself into the ground by accident there. I zigged when I should have zagged. I pressed the O button when I should have pressed the square button. We'll get it this time, though. Probably, right? Now they know it is fire breath on these fools. Maybe electric breath, too, would work. Who knows? Time will tell. You have to basically be, like, headbutting them anyway as you use your breath for this to work out. So why not just have it be just like where you touch them and that's collect them? And I do struggle just a teensy bit with the inverted flight controls here. But hell, it's still better. Having inverted Y-axis is still better in the fact that this game does inverted X-axis when it comes to controlling the camera. In 2002. I mean, I guess that was PS2 standard. There's a game I like called 10,000 Bullets that also has inverted X-axis nonsense in a third-person shooter. You know, there but for the grace of God go certain people who can tolerate that. Hey, we're on the Rainbow Road. I feel like we're gonna come in under time here. I feel like this one is fairly easy. Yeah, there we go. This one, all said and done, not bad. There is something wrong. There is some emulation error here. There has to be. Where this is happening, so... Let's start saying, now when you say like, in the context of 10,000 Bullets, it's a fun game with some really fun English dubbed cutscenes. I love the conceit, like, you know...
Hey, it's Toshi's station.
Excuse-moi. That is a pained joke. That is barely a joke. That's barely like... That is just a straight reference. Is that like a subtle reference? Not like, you know... I don't know. I don't say about that. Anyhow, Video Game King. It's 2002. Everyone was vibing. What time is it? 6:12. We still got another 45-something minutes of this, so... I feel like we'll come back with a... Well, definitely before I do this game again, I definitely need to do another game in between this and the next Spyro stream. We had fun with that FBI hostage rescue day. That was a good one. I have more budget first-person shooters lined up, ready to roll. Ah, sweet Homeworld, sweet Overworld again. Or not Homeworld, this is... You know what I mean. You know what I'm getting at here. There's ground beneath our feet. And now that I know that these gems are effectively useless, that we're never going to see money bags again in this game, and I don't believe there's multiple endings based on how much treasure you've collected. So... if you see me collecting those, tell me to stop wasting time. Precious time that could be spent doing something else. Speaking of precious time, speaking of waste, what was the point of coming up here? Is there a connecting platform I can only fly to from here, possibly? That in the distance looks like it might be... Slowly but surely. People joking that, you know, collecting things is fun, and why wouldn't you want to play this game for longer? Good points. I would, this again. I know there is something to do with these, that there's some, like, level-wide goal thing that we're supposed to be working towards to activate these, but they haven't explained the mechanic around it yet. I don't know if it's something to do with interacting with this. The game really hates the collision here. Worth it to see if I can, like... Oh, jam full of electricity, that's a good point. Oh, isn't they did totally mention that there are electricity to power these machines and so forth. That's a life-saving suggestion there. That has probably saved us potential an hour of like revisiting and trying to figure out what we need to do in this level. And this is suicide. Yep. Forgot that flutter only gets you so far. Luckily, I think lives are pretty plentiful in this game, so I'm not too concerned with our count going down by one there. And this gives us what we need to know for the next part of this level as well. Now we know we need to use electricity on that machine. So yes, Video Game King, thank you. A scholar on the subject. royalty in the stream at this point, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know, I know this has been mentioned many times anyways, but the controls in this game, they're not the worst I've ever played, and I don't really get much down with 3D platforms in the first place, but there's something just about them in particular here, I feel like every time I platform, that I'm gonna fall into some bottomless void, or this there, you know, funny, I'm showing to the controls, and it sends me flying out where the camera can't catch up. You know, just little things. Again, this, by necessity, by the nature of what we do here on the Bad Game Hall of Fame, this is like Nitpick the Stream. Bad Game Hall of Fame presents Cassidy nitpicking for however many hours this game takes to beat. Also, that's the hourglass in the sky. I couldn't tell what it was from the first camera angle in the first area, but when they told us that they needed machinery to power their, I know that guy isn't even carrying anything anymore. We got him. We got the magic wand out of him already, so... Yes, let's proceed to the next area here. Okay. Well, that's an interesting one. So, you'll remember, if you've been here for a minute, that we had an interesting thing where we looked back on this area, and like textures and assets weren't loading in. So I just wanted to, you know, point this out, this pop-up I just got, and try to ignore it for this session. Oh, okay, well, that would be the game crashing and burning. And, you know, I could chalk that up to emulator, but there was some real hardware equivalent issue here or something, if I remember what the chat was saying, where even the speedruns for this game on real hardware had some issue in that area with stuff not loading in. Oh, let's not show that there. Let's get the window capture off. So that would just be a garden variety emulator crash there. You don't get too many of those nowadays, especially on all lowest settings, all like as accurate to hardware as possible. So, you know, it's like a nice little surprise to see that. I mean, not a nice surprise. In fact, it's kind of the kind of worst surprise you can imagine. Let's see how much progress we lost. I have a feeling this is going to hurt a little bit. This might sting. Those of you who are still watching, I thank you. You have more patience than I do, and I'm the one playing this game. Can we see from here if that machine is powered on, beaming into the sky? I feel like that'll be the best metric for how much progress we lost. So let's actually... Worst case scenario, you could always just clip through the floor to finish the game, right? Yeah, I wish it was that kind of playthrough. Again, I need to be somewhat thorough for the purposes of gift collection here. Yeah, that's okay. It's looking like the game probably auto-saved after the speedway. So all in all, we didn't lose too much. More of a minor annoyance, really. Just like not being able to skip this cutscene is a little bit of a minor annoyance. Oh, but what a cutscene it is. Did not even project the beam this time around. Ooh, that almost fell off there. That's a nice save. At this point, I would open up the chat to, if watching the game isn't fascinating, I know, perish the thought, ask me any questions about bad games, as I always open up the chat to, as I always open up the floor for. And I will do my best to answer them. So we have something to talk about. Oh, okay, no. It looks like we have another graphics FIFO, unknown opcode. The emulated GPU got desynced. Disabling dual core can help. Oh, but this time, by pressing OK, I think we've actually... Okay. So, I guess just, you know, if anyone from the Dolphin team, the Dolphin development team is watching right now, got some work to do on Enter the Dragon, it looks like. You know, phew, the show must go on. You must continue to play this game. As exciting as it is, as many viewers as were hemorrhaging during it. Oh, for Pete's sake. I feel like I don't have any control over that when it happens. I know I want to collect the 1-up here. Just have that one in the back pocket. Testosterone, or not testosterone, I apologize. Testosterone asks, what's your favorite genre of bad game? First-person shooters. It's also my favorite genre of good game, but there is something about a like mid-2000s budget FPS or a Eurojank FPS that on the bad end of things that is of particular joy to me. That just brings joy to my heart. You know, rail shooters in particular, like bad rail shooters, to mess up something that's so mechanically simple, so intrinsically, inherently basic in that sense, is also a it's also a feat in and of itself, and so I have a fascination with that. That being said, you know, I appreciate bad games of any pedigree. I appreciate beauty in all things. I appreciate the charm of any genre in particular, and observing what went wrongs and the good ideas being squandered by developers under duress. You know, I'll try to play them all. I say that as this is a game that I tried to pawn off to someone else. As I've gone on the record as saying, telling the fact that we had the Fenestration dude in here earlier who was talking about they're the one writing the guest article for us, whereas I'm just playing it. Oh, no, we can't. When you do the flutter, you can't go back into a glide, so if you mess that flutter up, you've messed up in general. Now we gotta do a little bit of backtracking. How do I even exist? Are bad games in different genres bad in significantly different ways? Sure, the same way that, you know, different genres differ significantly in mechanics. You know, you're not going to see out-of-bounds issues in a rail shooter, for example. Just because the structure is different, just because the design document for those games would be until different goals and different mechanics and stuff. But what you will see is a lot of, like, you'll spend, like, more, like, bad hitboxes in that, or, like, there's, like, bad boss design, bad ideas implemented poorly, like a Death Crimson, where it's, like, a bunch of good ideas, where they threw, like, so much stuff up against the board, and the only way they have to showcase it is in the rail shooter constraints of, you know, very, like, scripted camera moves and, like, you know, very static presentation in that sense. But in that way, you get to see everything they were intending to put on the screen. Everything they wanted on that screen, they put on it. They put it in the path. They scripted the camera to show you it. Whereas, I don't know, there's, like, ways to overlook stuff in a 3D platform, you know? There's a chance you get 100% a game and still miss environmental details that the developers were sure everyone would see. And, you know, that's not even getting to the mechanical differences, as mentioned. The fact that, you know, you're having to account for all different types of controls here. Like, controls being a factor versus a rail shooter where, you know, all you can control is a cursor on screen or the sensitivity of a light gun. And that's the beauty of it, is that, you know, when you approach a different genre, you approach a different format of game, you have to, like, reset your mind in a way. You sort of have to cleanse your palate, like, you know, a taster would. Like a food taster, a professional, like, food critic. It's like, yes, you know, I have just tasted this disgusting shrimp, but in order to prepare and give the fairest shot possible to this rotten steak, I'll need to cleanse my palate with something. I'll need to bring a mint or something so I can sort of get my palate back to square one. And there's sort of like that process in my mind whenever I, like, go from one game into the next on the site. Whenever I, like, shift from one game of disparate genre to another, there's always a sort of process there where, like, I have to, like, forget all the mechanics I learned and forget all the mechanical eccentricities I learned for a particular game and be like, well, I'm not playing a platformer right now. I'm playing something on the ZX Spectrum, like some, like, I don't know, bad fighting game or whatever. And, you know, I gotta learn a whole new set of what's broken, how to control it, timing, and whatever, like, you know... I'm rambling, and you get the point. I'm sure I've already painted a sufficient picture to answer that question, but, you know, I'm nothing if not a rambling gal, so... But long short of it is that there's always a different approach, there's always something to consider, there's always, like, some sort of thought process that goes into respecting games and making sure that no matter what I'm doing, basically, no matter what kind of game I'm playing, that I'm giving it as fair a shot as possible, that even when it comes to a 3D platform, which is not a genre I'm a super fan of by any stretch, that I'm still trying to be conscientious of, you know, what design is here that, you know, would be common in other 3D platformers, something that, you know, what are the genre mainstays, what are the standards you need to have in this genre, that even if it's not a genre I'm a fan of, you know, like what, I'll play a good one, I'll play like another game that's like, you know, held up as an example of the genre, you know, at its peak, just so I can be like, remind myself what I'm supposed to be looking for and what's not up to par. Bob Ender asks, here's a question, what makes a game so bad it's good in your opinion? Intent is absolutely it. If the developers had ambitions bigger than their budget or their timeline, if they think they're making like a real gem, if they thought, like, you know, in the process of development that they're like, this is going to be the next Mario or whatever, and you get Bubsy 3D, you know? Or, that's not one size fits all. There are definitely games that are cynical cash grab, like a Big Rigs, for example, where no one working on that game had any illusions, delusions, or what have you, anything in between as to what that game would be. But, you know, that game is magical in its own right.
These lightning clouds are electrifying the pools. Can you use your super flame breath to get rid of them? Use the portal to power up your flame breath and get it to work.
This is the only time they've explained, like, what to do with one of these portals. This is what I was asking for earlier in the stream, where I said there should be like a little cutscene that shows me what I need to hit, what I need to be doing, and we have it here. I will return to the question in just a minute. Let me... Is this all that needs to be done, or do I need to, like, really spam these clouds out of existence? It's looking like the latter. There we go. It looks like that's not electrocuted anymore. How do I even exist? Says, Big Rigs fails not just to be a cynical crash grab, but fails to be, like, a game, more or less, so that's why it's magical. Sure. And, you know... Not to, like, demystify Big Rigs any, but there are more games like Big Rigs out there. There are games as broken, if not more so than a Big Rigs, and they will make themselves evident in time. I forgot I don't actually need to do that. I do want to talk to the bear, though. See if he gives me a Dragonfly for my efforts.
Great job, Spyro! While you were taking care of the clouds, I found this flying thing stuck in one of them. He seems lost.
I'm sure if I turn the camera around,
hey, it's
this motherfucker would just be standing there the whole time, but... You know, that's the conceit.
Can you swim to the next machine? I'm too scared of the water.
Aww. Whatever, I'm a sucker for teddy bears. They're cute. I can make fun of this poor guy.
Ouch.
I feel like a good way to answer the question of what constitutes a good bad game is to go over like some bad games. And, you know, those are like your boring bad games, right? The games are like they're just competent enough on just enough levels, but also just like not fun in any capacity. And, you know, that stuff will always be subjective. I know we had someone in the chat earlier who I'm sure left a while ago who was telling me that this is one of their favorite games, and that was a fun moment. But, and of course we tried to accommodate. I tried to mention that, you know, like I can see the merits of this game. Because of course I can. For me, this is a boring bad game, but for someone, this was their childhood, you know? Bobinator, I wish there was one 3D platformer in which you straight up tell the quest giver, hey, I need you to save you're ready to save the world. They just say, oh, okay, never mind, you get the collectible. Some game has to have done that as a gag already, right? It's so funny that, that someone has to have thought of it, hopefully. Then again, how many parody 3D platformers are there? How many 3D platformers are there that just like try to hit this as much on the nose as possible? Also, how many dragonflies have we collected in this level? TAGM saying, I may have been the person who said they liked it, but I think it's shit now. So no. No, there was a person earlier in the chat who came in, who discovered the stream, saying, and their first lines were saying like, "Oh my god, I love this game. This game is my childhood, and it's amazing that they got it done in 2-3 months." Which, you know, it's amazing they got it done in 2-3 months, sure. But there's the point to be made that, you know, just because a game was made under duress and adversity doesn't mean that it's inherently better for it. You can appreciate, you can respect the developers and the efforts they put in, but that's not a mark on the objective quality if such a thing exists of the game. That's a whole other discussion.
Thanks for the help, Spyro. Here's a dragonfly for you.
Alright, so we're done with this level then?
Hey, it's Rick.
Hey, I got a gag for you. The dragonfly's name is Rick. Y'all ever heard of, there's this pickle, no, it's not a pickle, it's a guy named Rick. He turns himself into a fucking pickle. It's the funniest shit you ever seen. Let's go back to Dragonland. This level doesn't turn into a full circle, does it? Oh no, here it is. This is the way back.
Ouch.
Is there anything here? Is there anything here for our efforts? Maybe like one more dragonfly hidden here. I'm sure there's not. Oh wait, hold on.
Ouch.
Even before I heard it, I saw this ladder here, so.
Hey, it's Goose.
Wunderbar. TAGM saying that talk about respecting the designers reminds me a lot of Bureau 13, the video game. Yes! Bob Mayer saying, honestly, I'm pretty sure I played worse 3D platformers than this. You want a real wreck? Play the ones based on the Grinch movie? Sure, yeah, okay. Let's be clear here. This is not the worst 3D platformer I've ever played. You can certainly do a lot worse than this. We only have 8 out of 10. I don't know where these last two are, and I'm not particularly compelled to go on the hunt for them. We have the Ice Breath. That should be sufficient in... I know there's 2 dragonflies we can get in the Amalgamated Asian stage. There's another ladder up there. Is there another ladder up there that I completely ignored? You may well be right. Let's find out. Oh, here we go. If this is just for treasure, though... That being said, I don't think we'd go all this way out just for treasure. Oh no. More challenge. More challenge stage. Well, no time like the present. We know it's not a flying stage, at least. We'll be spared that. But, whatever this will be.
The Puffy Palace is under attack. Please, save us from the battleships.
That's a cute voice. Sorry, that's a cute voice.
Defend the Puffy Palace?
I will defend it with my life. I take it back. Take it back. This palace can fucking rot. Alright, what are our abilities here besides this machine gun fire that seems practically, like, useless? It seems like I'm not even, like... We can sort of steer our ship in that way. Not our ship. Our aircraft. Button mash until something happens. Oh, we have rockets. Okay, well. So what's the point of the machine guns, then? As far as I can tell, they seem completely worthless. I mean, for what it's worth, these rockets seem pretty useless too, so... We'd shoot those guys in the beds, and the bed planes out the sky. Frappe Fiasco is asking, well, why is Spyro in a plane? I thought he could fly. Yeah, but he can't shoot missiles. He can do some fire breath, but, Bob Bader asks, have you ever looked into Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Vortex? Yeah. I don't know, maybe someday. It's not one that's like... It's on the list, to be sure, because I know by reputation, but it is not one that, you know, is high priority. I have, like, on my list in my huge Google Doc that has all the games that I do eventually want to review, there's black text, which is, you know, default standard text. Those are games that are pretty low priority. Those are the ones... That's where, like, Crash Bandicoot, Wrath of Cortex would belong. There's blue text, which means they're slightly elevated. Means that there's something that I have a personal interest in that I, like, would really like to write. Then there's purple text, which means that they are, like, so historically significant that it's a wonder they're not up on the site already. And I can't just, like, do those, like, exclusively, because those also, like, usually require the most amount of research. So that I do those sparingly, but there is absolutely a hierarchy of priority here. Also, I think I just became a Twitch affiliate in the middle of this. I think I just met the requirements for it, for whatever the hell that's worth.
Dragonfly was taking shelter inside the palace. Here, you can have it.
Well, we got a Dragonfly. That's what's important to me, damn it.
Hey, it's
Twitch affiliation, whatever. I don't give a shit. We got one Dragonfly, and there's probably another one attached to
If you'd
this.
like to try shooting a few more battleships, I'm sure there's a few more out there.
They say that, and it doesn't make it clear
Defend the...
whether or not there's another Dragonfly test. We ran into this with the Manta Ray minigame earlier, the Manta Ray challenge, where am I doing this just for the fun of it? Or am I doing this because there are stakes? We had the UFO one on the farmland level where there was a second Dragonfly attached, but... So it seems like these dudes in the bed... What, I don't know what you want to call those. The bedcraft. It's bedlam out here. We can just safely ignore them. And just mash this fire button. I think I got pretty good pace. I'm pretty good at button mashing for whatever that's worth. I'm not even like, this isn't even me at full power because there is a limit on how many missiles can come out per second. I should test how quick I am at button mashing. I got all my practice in Mario Party back in the day. I know exactly one person in my friend group who can button mash faster than I can. So, you know, I like to think I'm decently up there. But I'll put a number to it one day. Two down, two to go. Alright, that'll do it. Let's see if this was all a waste of time.
If you'd like to try shooting a few
Ah,
more
yeah.
battleships,
Sure was.
defend the...
No.
Okay.
Cinderfall asking, is this the Dreamland level? Yeah, it is. It was. We're leaving it now. And never looking back. Video Game King, is it that one guy who played the Thwomp minigame in Mario Party 4, but his friend had to hack it because he kept hitting the upper limit? I know exactly what you're talking about. No, I would like to know that person, but shouts to my friend Robin, who's definitely not watching this, but we should play games again sometime, though. Me and them. We do play Mario Party, actually. It is a game we do try to play. We played all the different Mario parties online. Nope, I accidentally did not mean to do that. I was kind of just like reorienting the camera, and I kind of walked into that minigame that we just got done doing. And is that a soft lock? Are we just hung up on this right now? I'll use the emulator's acceleration feature to run this at 10,000% speed. And yeah, you betcha. Alright, there we go. So as it turns out, if you turn around and go into the same portal you just came out of for the minigame, for the challenge, you can lock the game up. Alright, well, that's very good to know. The game definitely autosaved. Let's stop current emulation. Let's restart. So that's number 3. This is the most brutal one, though, because I can't go into a menu and bounce back out of it. This is one requiring a full emulation restart. So, that's impressive. Let me just read this affiliate message, because I'm just very curious about it. I missed the full pop-up for it. Begin your affiliate onboarding. Oh, this is like all payout stuff. That can wait. I don't really care enough about that. This is not a stream for money. This is not a stream for subscribing to or whatever. This is just when I need to play a game. I'll do it live for the fun of it. Cinderfall, you guys ever thought about looking at the Legend of Spyro trilogy games? I'm gonna leave that to my guest writer to determine, because they're the one who's guest writing the article on this game. I'm just the one who has to play it due to unfortunate circumstances. See, we loaded into this level just so we can exit out of it, but that's what you gotta do sometimes. Back into the fray. So, okay, we have the new power-up that's Ice Breath. That should open that one gate to get to the next area, but I want to take it back to Amalgamated Asian Land and get a few extra Dragonflies. Just to close that loop, so that thread is no longer left hanging. Tagum says, well, I think Twitch affiliation comes with emotes, so that might be a thing. I don't know if you're interested in that. Sure, I would make emotes. I just don't want to charge money for them. I don't want to do anything that requires people to pay money. I already feel bad enough we have a Patreon for funding some of our article stuff and funding in hardware and stuff that I can't just pay out of pocket to do everything on the site, but that's a whole other kettle of fish. Amalgamated Asian Land is a term I'm stealing. I think I personally coined the term. Someone has to have used it before. I Googled it to see if anyone else had come up with it, but I didn't find anything. For Amalgamated Asian, in some article, I may have been in describing Lucas Kane in Indigo Prophecy, or I don't remember. If you search it on the site, if you go to the search bar and search Amalgamated Asian, I'm sure But there's no other way. It's a perfect word to describe shit like this, where they're combining aspects of Chinese, Japanese, Korean culture into just one fucking lump sum. Just we don't know the difference between these things. There were Vietnamese in there too. It's that one I almost said Family Guy joke. That one King of the Hill joke, where Hank Hill is asking, "Are you Chinese or Japanese?" And he's like, I'm Taiwanese. I don't remember the exact ethnicity of that character. So forgive me for that, but he obviously answers that it's outside of Chinese or Japanese, and Hank Hill's only response to it is just to ask again, so are you Chinese or Japanese? That's just what I imagine the developers, level designers, thinking of when they design levels along these lines. when they're naming characters after Jet Li and Toshiro Mifune and Jackie Chan without any idea for, like... These people are all from different, like, parts of the world. Alright, this is level 1. No, I don't want to talk to you, little one. Yeah, well, works like a charm. Now, how do I actually... There we go. Okay, Video Game King giving me actual details. Khan's Laotian, yes. A fact that Khan somehow gets right. Also, as long as we're talking about Laotian representation of King of the Hill, all the Laotian in the show is made up. Yeah, well, that parses. That's... You can only do so much for that front, I suppose.
Spyro. My buddies RJ and Dougie are flying their kites today, too. Have you seen them, Spyro?
I have, as a matter of fact. I saw them when I played this level last episode, last stream. Can I kill you for your butterfly? Thank you. I was hoping to get a Dragonfly straight away for helping that kid out, but guess we're going to have to help out all three, which means this trip was not worth it. Also, please correct me if is Laotian correct? I do try to learn these things. I would like to learn and make sure that there is absolutely, like, that my pronunciation is as close to correct as possible, for as tongue-tied as I get, for as much as I mispronounce very basic words. You know how it is. Here we are. I like how it's just a matter of handing the string over. The string just, like, sort of, like, motion tweens between me and the little one.
That was cold, but you saved my kite, so I guess I should thank you. You should go see Dougie.
You really shouldn't thank me, dude. I froze you into a solid block of ice. There are probably better ways to accomplish. How do I even exist as? I like how you flame Moneybags. See, that's a speed strat, because otherwise, if I got too close to him, I'd have to talk to him. So, my brain subconsciously knew to burn him there. So I would be saved repetitive dialogue and having to watch the camera, like, slowly letterbox and move towards him. And also, you know, fuck capitalism. So that's a good reason too, right? That's how I get my socialist cred going in the chat. Now there's one last little dragon to help. I know there's, like, grand total 4 more dragonflies in this level. But, you know, I don't know where they are. I don't care to find out. We don't need them all for completion. I'm just sort of doing what feels right in the moment. I'm playing as much of this game as I feel is necessary to play. Which means I do want to see every level. I do want to at least engage with all the challenges. You know, I totally didn't need the ice power-up for this. But, first of all, nice camera. Secondly, they're going to force me to do this. It's not enough that I... Oh! Sure. You know what? Sure. Cool. That's alright. No, we got it. It's all that matters that we got it.
Thanks so much, Mr. Spyro. I've been looking for this kite all summer. Look, Spyro. Look what came out of the tree when you saved my kite. A baby dragonfly.
Hey, it's Mooney.
Frappe Fiasco, there's been some Mr. Krabs jokes in the chat. Quincy Jones. My mind was blown when I found that Mr. Krabs was voiced by the Kurgan. He sure was. That was some weird staggered feedback. That was weird staggered reward for doing this puzzle the way the game didn't intend for us to do, because the fact I didn't use my ice power to like turn that little kid into a fucking stepping stone. Oh, well. Before we lose a life, let's exit level. This is the strategy for saving ourselves from losing a life here when we miss a platform. Never mind, we have all the dragonflies now, as demonstrated by that stock trumpet noise. I don't think we have all the dragonflies in that level. Unless I was miscounting, misremembering how many we had going in. I feel like we're 9 for 10, right? I feel like that was just because we finished the challenge of getting all 3 of the kids' kites back for them. I'll check the atlas when we return to the Dragon Hub world. At least I know for a fact where we need to go now, what direction we need to head in. We only have 10 minutes left in this stream, but I think he popped up saying 10 out of 10. You're probably right then. I'm probably misremembering numbers and details and so forth. But let's... I mean, that was the first level, and yeah, it checks out. Okay, so yeah, there we go. We're on our way to Monkey Monastery. If this is a indication of that. Did we do 1 or 2 levels today? We did 2, right? We did the water area, we did the beachfront property with the pigs we had to rescue, and then we did Cloud 9.
Alright.
So, you know, we're progressing through this game. There's 8 levels total, not counting the final boss, so that means we're halfway through the game. Just telling us about the Atlas now, halfway through the game. Video Game King says, Monastery, I don't like where this is going. No, we're gonna see some Aztecs. Or some Aztec appropriation, rather. Or Mayan. Who's to say? Who's to know? The developers sure won't.
I was working on a fantastic new experiment, but I suddenly disappeared from my laboratory. If you find some more of these dragonflies, I bet their magic could get this contraption working again.
Now I'm going to hold here. And no, he doesn't go into his next line of dialogue. He doesn't immediately launch into that like that other character does. Like that, I don't know how to describe the other character as anything other than a hillbilly dragon. Was it a dragon or a crocodile? I already can't remember. One who's like, oh gosh, Spyro! That's more of a goofy than it is a stereotypical southern voice. But you know.
Hey, it's Masa!
I don't know if we need a tutorial to tell us that we're about to use our ice breath. We've already gotten this tutorial before. Oh yeah, you think I'd remember that by now.
Okay, so what's the challenge this time?
Yeah, okay, we got that. Let's get that Dragonfly. These are always tough. These always give you, like, barely enough time to do them. And me wasting the first few seconds here is... Whatever, this is a fact-finding mission, though, right now. We're just looking around to see... what these targets look like, where they could be. So we got a few in the first area. Will there be any up here that we'll have to collect? It's looking like no.
Ouch.
I am curious what that is, though. Well, I missed, so I'm not going to find out. But at least we have a sense of direction. At least we have a sense of purpose right now. Oh, that hesitation is going to cost me. Yeah, I have a feeling I want to get this one. and then go this way to get the last two. This was not altogether too challenging one, unless we get on the very last frame there and soft lock again. But no, we're good. We got it.
Hey, it's Howie!
Howie Mandel, ladies and gentlemen, in his cameo role. Don't shake his hand. You can saying that's not well telegraphed. Yeah, it could stand a little bit. There could be a little bit more markers, but at the same time, like, these challenges aren't the worst. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you to explore this area, or they're expecting you to have explored it beforehand and have an idea. It's just a matter of, like, you know, there's no signposting in which direction you need to go in. Hold on a second. I freeze him, I kill him, and a fully cooked, smoking rack of ribs comes out. Ice burn is what it is, clearly. You are probably not an enemy, actually. I made assumptions based on that face and the fact that you're doing the na-na-na-na-na. But, clearly you are a friend who will take us to one of the next stages in the game. All I need to do is approach you from the right angle to where... Alright, we have the game has taken control automatically and is trying to run us into the carpet here. There we go. I actually managed to get us out of that soft lock situation. Frappe Fiasco saying Howie's best game performance is in the Deal or No Deal DVD game, as recently played by the Retro Pals, and yes, that is a fine performance. Yeah, this game struggles to put you in position for these cutscenes. Something that we are noticing. Again, I pressed the Y button to trigger it this time because I saw the pop-up briefly. But, press every button to free ourselves of that. How am I supposed to talk to this dude? If every time I do, try to, it just puts us in a corner we can't get out of. Oh, thank you.
You're gonna need to steal a lot more dragonflies before I let you on my magic carpet. Not just anyone gets to ride on it.
I don't like you based on your voice. 55 dragonflies needed, though. Like how his name is just Thief. You know, the people who steal. Cannot just get on the level by jumping on the carpet. We tested with some other platforms before. And all that'll happen is we'll stand on it, and we can do a song and dance all day, and it won't take us to where we want to go. So we already have a few levels that we are pending having enough dragonflies to be able to access. I have a feeling where we want to go is up here. I like the transition from hot to cold here. It's very subtle. They definitely do it gradually, using, like, you know, texture work to, you know, show the ground getting progressively more frozen, as opposed to just sudden whatever. Monkey Monastery, clearly where we're going now.
Great job, young dragon. That should be enough to get my balloon working. Hop aboard.
Monastery is big in Australia, I guess.
Hey, it's Sandra!
Hey, it's all the dragons for the overworld, I guess. You know, if we've been collecting every dragonfly in some of those previous levels, we could probably, like, skip around, not have to do the stage at all. Alright, so I heard the audio sample they used, the little sting, the yeah. I heard that from afar. So even though this guy might have an Australian accent, we're getting the full yogi experience, as they would call it, I'm sure. Let's just take a look at Monkey Monastery. Let's just clip inside this airship, because we are close to, we are at our end time. We are at 7 o'clock, and I do try to keep these streams around 2 hours. We've let it get out of hand in the past, but I feel like we made fair progress today. This will probably end up being a 4-part adventure in streaming in episodes, this being part 2. But I would just like to see what we're getting into in the next episode. As you'd expect,
those unbalanced riptocs have invaded our sector.
okay, thank you for tuning in, everybody. That was Spyro, Enter the Dragonfly, Episode 2. And don't mind me, I'm just talking over the dialogue. It's silly of me. Yeah, let's just go right to the end card here. Alright, well, we will be returning to this game at some point. I don't know why, but we will. I made a commitment. So, you know, all things in due time. We'll play something else beforehand. We'll do some other stream in the interim. We'll play, I don't know, maybe some more budget first-person shooters from the mid-2000s. I got a whole bunch of games, as it turns out. Maybe I'll play something else I actually enjoy for a change. But that's going to do it for this episode. So thank you all for tuning in, for sticking with us. And sorry, I'm so sorry